What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Carlos. I am bringing you the movie review for Marshall, dealing with the story behind Thurgood Marshall. Let me tell you, this movie was outstanding. Oh my God. The movie was excellent. Now, one of the things that I noticed that on Rotten Tomatoes, they gave this movie an 83% rating. I personally think it should have been at least 95. And me and my crew, we went to go see this movie on yesterday. When I tell you this movie was good, it was good. Now, this movie touched on a lot of sensitive racism issues. Back during the time before the Civil Rights Act, black people had to endure and deal with so many things. You know, and you're going to see a lot of things that were portrayed in this movie that we all know about, but sometimes people don't want to talk about. But the movie was really good. I think it was well made. It wasn't one of those type of movies where when you see racism in it, you automatically just be like, oh my God, I can't, I can't, what? Oh, you know how we feel when we're in the movies and stuff. But I think this movie told a very, very good story. Now, the movie Marshall that just was released, we went to see this and I thought it was incredible. The story was awesome. And I think Reginald Hudlin was the person who directed this movie. I thought it was done very well. You know, and the guy who's playing Black Panther that's coming out in 2018, he was one of the main actors in this movie. When I tell you, he played that role, bruh, you played that role. That movie was good. You did your part. You did it. Now, the runtime of this movie is 118 minutes. It doesn't feel like you've been in the theater for 2 hours. It doesn't have that feel. From the very beginning of this movie, you are pulled in from the very start. Seriously. And pretty much this movie consisted around the time, you know, where all the stuff that was going on in Mississippi, back in the early 60s and 50s. And a lot of that went on in the 40s as well. But you see how a lot of black men were convicted of things that they just did not do. And when it came to black people having fair and equal rights and justice, as we say, justice for all, there was no justice for all back then. It was not. We say freedom, liberty, and justice for all. In this country, it was not. Come on. If you think it was, you living in an alternative parallel universe. Really. And me personally, I love everybody. I love all people. Because I believe our Creator created all people. And just knowing that you were created is a blessing. Knowing you were created means that our Creator put you here to serve a purpose for the big picture. But this movie was about a young Thurgood Marshall. He was very young, and we hear about him even in Black history. He faced one of the greatest challenges while working as a lawyer. Did he have, as working as a lawyer, he didn't have the same opportunity as other lawyers did, especially when you had back during that time before civil rights, a black attorney trying to do a case that's being represented by a white attorney, trust me, the ball game was not like it is in current day. It was not like that. So anyone can be a lawyer today. They can represent as long as they have a license to and certification by the state too. But in this movie, it was like you was a part of the elite club. You know, and it was all about winning. I don't care if you was innocent. I'm going to win this case, and I'm going to go to my big country club and talk about it, and talk about, you know, the injustice that happened to this person that I just convicted. Sad. Oh my God. But Thurgood Marshall was one of the lawyers for the NAACP. And he represented a lot of black families for, you know, to be their attorney when they didn't have nobody else to turn to. There was a case in this movie where, you know, there was a young man that was convicted of a crime. I'm not going to tell you everything because I want you to go see it and I don't want to spoil anything for you. He was convicted of a crime, but not everybody that's convicted of something have the proper legal representation. So Thurgood Marshall was a attorney that was put in place, or he worked for the NAACP. And when I tell you this man dealt with so much foolishness, from people. I mean, from the point of where he could just be trying to eat, or he can be trying to travel. But then you have, back then, you had a lot of Caucasian men that just didn't like you just because of the color of your skin, and they would come after you, or to use tactics to scare you. Where is the love, my God? Where is the love? Oh, where is the love? But one of the things that I took away from this movie is that knowledge is truly power. When I tell you knowledge is power, knowledge is power. And Thurgood Marshall, this man knew the law. This man knew the law. He knew the law. And when you had to step up against the big bad wolf during that time, when you knew the law, even the other side couldn't do nothing but bend to the law. And when you see the truth is the truth, even the big bad wolf on the other side had to see the truth for being the truth. See, during that time, and even during this time, black people had to endure so many racial things, being hung from trees, being persecuted, so many different things. You know the story. I don't want to get too much into that, but you know the story. You know all the things that happened back then, and some things that happen today. But knowledge is power. When I tell you Thurgood Marshall fought people with knowledge and speaking prophetic and etiquettely with the words that came out of his mouth to the individuals and doing your homework, oh man, it was amazing. Now, this man traveled all the way up to Connecticut to help a man that was accused of rape. But I don't want to give any spoilers away, because everything that's said to be something is not always what it appears. Sometimes people deal with things and they go seek love in all the wrong places or in another place, and they are a victim themselves, and to keep themselves from being hurt by the person who's hurting them, sometimes would not always tell the truth about things. But I believe in this court that they were trying this person in, I don't want to give too much away, but I personally thought that out of all those days that they were trying this person in that trial, and then in order to try a case that most black people wasn't even really allowed in the courthouse to even try somebody, this person was made to be silent, but he could write down things and have a white attorney representing him. But the attorney was Jewish. So it's amazing how, to me, and I was like, what? That even the person who was Jewish was not even treated fairly. You know, we supposed to all be created equally, all be looked at equally, but not even the Jews. They dealt with persecution as well. Black people dealt with it too. It just baffled me to see that. And to see all the hatred and people beating people up just because they don't agree with the color of their skin or with the things that, you know, that are fair and right and justice for all. I don't get it. It's amazing to me. Now, Thurgood Marshall was the first African American that was at the Supreme Court Justice. And this movie focused on the actual first case of his career. He was very young. This was his first case. I don't want to give away too much. I'm trying not to, but the movie is good. Go see the movie. The movie is awesome. And when I say awesome, it's about how these actors and actresses in this movie brought this movie to life. You felt like you were actually in that courtroom. You know? And there was some moments where you were clinging, and there was some moments when you was like, what? Huh? You know? But go see this movie. It's called Marshall. It's the film that was just released over this past weekend. Go ahead and tell me what you think if you've already saw the movie. Go like and subscribe to my video. And I will be bringing you some more movie reviews from my perspective of what we saw at the movie and what we thought about the movie and how the movie was. So again, this is your boy, Carlos, and see you.